If you want your country prosper, go plant more nutmeg and banana.
Hi there. Welcome to the Nutmeg Tree. Today we present the second part of our discussion with farmer Francis Antoine of Butch Grove.
We have to begin to see farming as a business, okay, and a career potential for our people. So younger people have to begin to think, what can I do? How can I do farming in a different way? How can I do farming so that it becomes a viable, means of living? How can I be a productive farmer that can earn sufficient to maintain and sustain my family? So that's one. But that requires education, and it requires education beginning at the primary school level. And two, policy making. The national leaders, be whoever they are, need to recognize that unless good policies are put in place to provide guidance for the national development of agriculture, including the nutmeg sector, until then we wouldn't have the results we're looking for. So that if the policy is not right, then it cannot trickle down to the educational system. If the educational system is not serving our people right, then we cannot obtain the benefits we can obtain from farming. In other words, if we have the right national policies in place for developing agriculture, and if we have a good educational system that teaches our people to see the potentials in the natural resources we have, and they begin to look inwards for solutions to the problems they have, if we train them to become innovative and entrepreneurial from the primary school level, we can see a difference 5, 10, 20 years down the road. But as it stands, too many of our school graduates, be it from the primary school level or the secondary school level or even the university level, do not see much hope in farming. And that's precisely because we don't fully appreciate the potential that farming holds. And like I said, if one individual, for example, decides to take the nutmeg pod and make byproducts from that, the potential is tremendous for him. He can make juices, he can make jams, and heaven knows, maybe he can extract some useful compounds that would have, antiseptic effects or benefits. Maybe he can use the excess of that to produce compost or mulch, whatever you want to call it. Maybe he can obtain from that some pesticide or weedicide that we're not aware of, but is present in the product. I don't know, I'm just speculating. But until we do, for example, research and development, and we become innovative in our approach to things, until then we wouldn't know the truth held within that nutmeg pod. The same thing could be said for the nutmeg shell. The same thing could be said for the nutmeg wood, the tree itself. The same thing could be said for the nutmeg leaves. The nutmeg leaves are very flammable. Have we thought of a way to make use of it as a fuel source? So there is potential, but the education and the policy making and innovation would be important factors that would have to come together to ensure that we have a younger population getting into agriculture in a serious way as a career, and at the same time seeing it as a potential for earning a livelihood along the road, so that we're not depending on people to provide us with employment, but we ourselves beginning to grab the bull by its horn, become innovative, become entrepreneurs, and find a solution to our problems.
Doc, research and development seem to be your favorite word, because this is not the first time we're talking. We talked before, and you always talk about research and development. When that research and development will come in Grenada to help the nutmeg industry, because we have no research and development at the moment.
Well, R&D, research and development requires planning, right? But it also requires resources. And if there is not a will or a desire to invest some resources into R&D, then we won't be getting anywhere. Remember, development comes about as a result of research, right? A result of innovation, a result of entrepreneurship. So, but everything begins with some investigation. Okay, we need to have a department, say within the GCNA, for example, whose charge is to investigate a number of things, including how best can we process the nutmegs to get the greatest values from the product. How best we can manage the field to ensure minimal loss in the fields, maximum yield from our trees. how best can we ensure that we put a plant in the ground and we know for sure it's a female, as opposed to waiting 3, 4, 5 years before we could tell male, female. Okay, those things we should be able to tell, but in order to do that, we need to do the research. Any organization that considers itself as a serious organization must invest, even if it's 2, 3, 4, or 5% of its resources, into R&D. Failing to do R&D is basically signing a death warrant, because that's what's going to bring about innovative products and allow you to grow as an organization. And notice what we've done over the years, and notice where we are. Nothing spent into R&D, and where we are, we're still in the doldrums, floundering around. So that's part of the reason why R&D is quintessential to any serious business organization, and GCNA needs to get into that. How we do it, I don't know, but be it begging for resources, equipment, assistance, or be it funding, financial assistance, or be it government assistance, or be it individual assistance, one way or the other, we have to get into it. Where we start, I think we have to start today by setting up an R&D department. That's how I think it gets started.
Quality seems to be the most important thing. Do you satisfy with the quality approaches that are coming from the farms these days?
Quality is a relative term, and it could mean a lot of things, different things to different people. As it stands, we produce a fairly high quality nutmeg. That's in demand. In fact, the international buyers are asking for more of our nutmeg, so it's a good sign. If quality wasn't there, they would be asking for it. However, we shouldn't sit on our laurels and assume that everything is hunky-dory. We always have to improve the standards at which we operate. We have to have mechanisms in place to ensure that a certain standard is maintained, but always seeking to improve, because as time goes by, things change, and as things change, the demand, the standard requirement changes as well. So we always have to be prepared to improve our standards. So there's room for improvement, but make no mistake, the quality is there, and hence the international demand. The challenge we have is to be able to produce the volume that is being demanded, and ensure the volume produced is of a higher quality. At this stage, there are a number of mechanisms we have to put in place to develop and ensure that the quality is maintained and improved over time.
So GCNA is safe? Would you say that?
Well, I wouldn't say GCNA is safe, because I don't want to be complacent. I know there are a lot of threats that face the organization at this point in time. Okay, we cannot be complacent. What we need to do is to strengthen our organization, and we can strengthen our organization by being united, having a serious program for development of our industry, including the manufacturing of value-added products from the raw materials, and including serious management and administration, as well as serious national policies that help to protect the organization. Because there are forces out there that are willing to see the organization dismantled, and that's a threat. There are forces out there who would like to see that the organization is dismembered, such that we no longer have the unity among our farmers, and that's a threat. But we as farmers have to come together and remain together to ensure that GCNA continues to grow. If at this point we're having some challenges, that's okay. Challenges are essential for growth, but we have to embrace the challenges, find solutions to the challenges, stay focused, and grow the organization. We cannot grow it without the farmers, and at the end of the day, the farmers need to recognize that GCNA belongs to them. After all, it's farmers' business, and if they're not interested in the farmers' business, then who's going to be interested in it for them? That's it.
Well, Doc, we have been speaking for a long time, and we'll have to come back and continue this very interesting discussion. Any final word?
My final word would be, we are at a stage in our national development where we as farmers need to understand that we have to be organized. We have to remain organized in order to achieve some measure of success, or continue to achieve success. Remember, in unity there is strength, right? And if we divide it, then we fall or we fail. we need to stay united, but we also need to unite with the board and ensure that we demand more from the board, ensuring that the board, for example, meets our requests, ensure that the board serves our national interests, ensure that the board is working in our interests to obtain the best market price for our produce, ensure that the board involves and engages the farmers on a regular basis, providing educational opportunities for the farmers and farmers' children, providing better opportunities for the farmers in terms of value-adding products and encouraging farmers to produce as much more as is possible, as well as encouraging the farmers to focus on maintaining and improving the quality wherever it's possible in terms of the quality of the nutmegs that we obtain. And that's my message for the day. You know.
Thank you very much, Dr. Antoine. I was there speaking to Dr. Francis Antoine, a member of the board of directors of GCNA and a farmer in his own right. Thank you very much, sir. You were listening to Dr. Francis Antoine of Butch Cove. I am Mike Noel reporting.
If you want your